Thank you very much. Comrades, are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, we're ready. Ready to rescue this country. Ready to rebuild Antigua and Barbuda. My dear comrades, our cause is a just one. And we have to make sure that we are unrelenting, that we continue to work hard until victory is achieved. And tonight, we are here to stand in solidarity with two of our comrades, two of our candidates, Comrade Michael Browne, All Saints West, and Comrade Colin Tintin James, All Saints East and St. Luke. Now, comrades, 15 months ago, if you had asked me if the Labour Party was likely to win the All Saints East seat, I would have said to you, unlikely. And you know you can count on Gaston Browne to speak the truth at all times. But I can say to you tonight that we polled this constituency as recent as 2 weeks ago, and that Comrade Tintin James is on the verge of winning this constituency. Now, comrades, last elections we lost this constituency by 2-1. And that is why I said earlier that if you had asked me 15 months ago if the Labour Party would have won this seat in the upcoming polls, more than likely I would have said no. But today I say to you definitively that Comrade Tintin James will bring home the All Saints East seat. Now in All Saints West, again we were defeated badly in All Saints West. When we polled All Saints West a year ago, we were 16% behind. And you know, we had to take a hard decision. We had to displace my dear friend, Comrade Davin Joseph. But I'm sure he understands that we did it for the party, that we did it for the people, and that we did it for the country.
Run the track!
Now today, I say to you that our new find, Dr. Michael Browne, is now leading Chandler Congington. So both All Saints West and All Saints East and St. Luke can be assured that they will now, after the 2014 general elections, have proper representation. And I especially would like to thank the people of All Saints and the support that you have given to Comrade Tintin James. You recognize that there was no need to import anyone to represent you. The UPP imported a gentleman by the name of Chester Hughes. Now I not call him the Esther. Chester Hughes. And after a few months on the job, he couldn't handle the job, so he cholan. He's what you call an absconding debtor. Someone who owes the people of All Saints East and St. Luke. You invested in him and you reaped absolutely nothing. Now they brought you a new lady, someone that I'm not calling a reject. I'm not going down that road, not getting personal. No, I'm not calling a Virago. I'm not going down that road. So now, they brought you this lady by the name of Joan Messiah. Someone who has been rejected by the people of St. Peter. Twice rejected. And as someone said to me earlier, All Saints East and St. Luke is not a rubbish dump. So you have a homegrown man in Colin James. Someone who has shown great commitment to the people of All Saints East and St. Luke for the last 30 years. there is no other individual in this constituency who have made a more significant contribution to a sporting development in this constituency than Colin James. And if someone in his private capacity could demonstrate that type of commitment to you, the people, then I say to you that you owe him a debt of gratitude. And tonight, I call upon the people of All Saints East and St. Luke, especially those of you here in All Saints in the Mock Pond area, to continue to stand with Comrade Colin James. I have walked this area, and I have no doubt that by the time Comrade Tintin James leaves All Saints, he will be beating Joan Messiah by at least 2-1. Because at the end of the day, I am sure that the people of All Saints, that they are proud to know that they have a local son who will emerge as a representative. You listen to his plans this evening, and I am sure, given the opportunity to be a representative, that he will transform All Saints into the city of All Saints. So again, it is in your interest to support both our candidates in this area. Comrade Michael Browne in All Saints West, and Comrade Tintin James in All Saints East. Now, comrades, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party is on a rescue mission. And we have a number of plans and programs to transform this country into an economic powerhouse in the Caribbean. We will bring more investments to this country. We will increase trade. We will bring more tourists to this country. We will grow Antigua and Barbuda's economy. We will create more jobs and put you, the people, back to work. I know that many of you are unemployed, and I know that many promises have been made today about employment by the UPP government. But I say to you that if after 10 years you could not get a job from the UPP, why would anyone believe that they could get a job within the next 5 years? If they have failed to perform within the last 10 years, then how could anyone conscionably expect Baldwin Spencer and the UPP to perform after the next 5 years? In any event, I'm quite sure that our people are not self-hating. So there's no way that Baldwin Spencer and the UPP will get a third term, because you understand what is at stake. You understand that come the next general elections, that the future of this country is at stake. And you know they will come with all the bribes. They will try and dupe you. But I've said to you before, take whatever gifts that they bring. Make sure that you eat them out, drink them out, and vote them out. You know, I've been advised about a week ago that the Baldwin Spencer administration, out of desperation, they have given 5,000 duty-frees. What they're doing now is that they're meeting individuals, all and sundry, offering them a duty-free to support them. And they've said to these individuals, take the duty-free and you can sell it for $5,000. Now, I know of 2 youngsters in my constituency who were offered a job recently, just about 2 weeks ago. And they told the individual that, look, they don't want to work because they just got 2 duty-frees. They're going to sell them, they're going to get $10,000. But guess what? Up to this day, they have not been able to sell one because people don't have the money to buy the cars. So when they offer you the duty-free, and you may think that the piece of paper is worth $5,000, I say to you, it's worth nothing. So what they're doing here is that they're duping our innocent electors, especially the young ones, into thinking that the duty-free concessions that they have value. But then again, it shows the desperation of Baldwin Spencer and the UPP. It shows the depth to which they are willing to sink. I also was told that they had a conversation in the cabinet, a discussion, in which they said that they are on their way out, but they are prepared to sink this country further and to make sure that they make our jobs harder. But I say to you tonight, no matter the challenge that we inherit, come June 13th, 2014, come June 13th, 2014, whatever the challenge, the Labour Party will rise to the challenge. Because we are committed, and we have the skills, we have the competence to deliver. We have already done significant work, and that is why we can say to you boldly that we will bring more investments to this country. That is why we can say to you tonight that we will put all of you back to work. Every single working adult in this country who is desirous of working will get a job on the Labour. I see that they have a number of billboards. All of a sudden, they're promising 5,000 jobs. 5,000 seems to be the big figure now. 5,000 jobs if they win the next general elections. Now, if during the good days leading up to Cricket World Cup, they could not provide one new job, how are they going to provide 5,000 jobs in the unlikely event they were to win the next general elections? Again, they're trying to fool you. And when you look at some of the projects that they say will generate thousands of jobs, these are projects that they've been talking about for the last 10 years. I remind you of the Ajobe project. 10 years ago, they've been talking about it. Up to today, they have not even turned the sod. And yet still, they're promising 2,000 jobs from that project. Again, they're going to promise you everything. But the reality is they had 10 years to deliver. So there's no way that any sensible person could accept any promise from Baldwin Spencer and the UPP. They boast that 5,000 individuals have been getting free medical care at the clinics. But they ask the question, who built those clinics? Labour built them. Barring perhaps one, all the clinics in this country, they were built by Labour. They brag about scholarships, but I ask you tonight, who established the education levy to fund those scholarships? Labour again. Labour built this country. So no matter what they say, no matter how they try to exaggerate their accomplishments, no matter how they try to steal our accomplishments, let them know that it's the Labour Party that built this country. And it is instructive that every time the Labour Party governs this country, that poverty invariably is on the 10%. Every time the Labour Party governs this country, unemployment would have been at record low. But every time the UPP and its forerunner institution, the PLM, had the opportunity to govern this country, we find ourselves in a crisis. It tells you very clearly that they do not have that type of people philosophy. It tells you that Baldwin Spencer and the UPP and even the forerunner institution, the PLM, that they have governed for themselves. They have not governed for you, the people. And I pledge to you tonight that the Labour Party, in keeping with its tradition, in keeping with its philosophy, will continue to govern in your interests. We are not about cliches. They say people first, but the reality is people last. But we understand our obligation to you, the people. We understand our obligation to provide you with employment, to put you back to work. So it will be back to work with Labour. We understand our obligation to provide you with good health care, to make sure that Mount St. John has adequate supplies so that we can meet your health care needs. And we will prioritize the provision of adequate resources at Mount St. John. Just last week, they took $18 million of medical benefits money to purchase bonds, while Mount St. John remains languishing cannot even get basic supplies in order to satisfy the basic healthcare needs of our people. That is the nature of the uncaring UPP regime. We have some very exciting programs. You know about our 500 homes in 500 days? Because we want to make sure that we provide at least 500 families with the pride of ownership to own a new affordable home. And I said to you that that will be part of an expanded program in which we will provide thousands of homes for you, the people, especially you, the working class people, the poor and the vulnerable. So areas such as Point and Grace Farm, Green Bay Otters, you can be assured that the Labour Party will embark on an urban renewal program. And I said to the people in All Saints East and St. Luke, those of you in All Saints West, you too will benefit from housing. You have the land for expansion, and we will make sure that we embark on a village expansion program, because we want to truly empower you, the people, to provide you with good jobs, to provide you with good health care, good education, and obviously good housing. You deserve better than what you've had for the last 10 years. And that is why come the next general elections, you must support change. This will be change for the better, change for the best, change for your empowerment. And I said to you tonight, we cannot afford to become complacent. I've said to you that we're winning, but you know, in politics, it's like 1,000 years. So we have to remain vigilant and to go door to door, street to street, and to convince the majority of Antiguans and Barbudans to continue to hold firm with Labour and to make sure, come June 12, 2014, that he elect the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party overwhelmingly. And when I say overwhelmingly, I mean a clean sweep. Clean sweep! Because when you look at the poor performance of Baldwin Spence and the UPP, not one single UPP minister or parliamentarian deserves to be back in Parliament. They have failed you, and we have to make sure that we punish them accordingly. You must make sure that whenever your parliamentarian fails to deliver, if he fails to deliver, that you punish him or punish her, put them out to pasture. That must be the standard we set come 2014, June 12, 2014. And when you look at Chandler Codrington, who has represented All Saints West for the last 10 years, I said to the people of All Saints West that Chandler Codrington has been a monumental failure. I have served with him in Parliament for the last 10 years, and Chandler Codrington has been a laughing stock of the Parliament. Even his own leader, the Prime Minister of this country, whenever Chandler Codrington gets up to speak, he invariably asks him to sit. So, when you look at the comparison between Chandler Codrington and our star Michael Browne, Dr. Michael Browne, it's like comparing chalk and cheese. So the people of All Saints West, you now have the opportunity to get the type of representation that you deserve. And it cannot be about tying your minds to colors, to parties, but to make an objective decision as to who will do a better job. And you know the irony about it, there are some very poor people in this country. Some very poor people, even here in All Saints West and in All Saints East. And they, out of blind loyalty, have actually followed the UPP, presiding or encouraging their own disempowerment. And I just hope that those individuals would understand that after 10 years, those blind loyalists of the UPP, those poor individuals who continue to follow the UPP, to understand that they are supporting their own disempowerment. And I hope that they will wake up and to understand that the UPP has nothing to offer them. That the Labour Party will transform this country and put all our citizens, all of our residents back to work. And you know that we are an all-inclusive institution. We recognize that we are fundamentally one and the same people. So it doesn't matter if you're an immigrant, a CARICOM national, or an indigenous Antiguan and Barbudan. We say that we're one people, we're one nation with a common destiny. And we will make sure that every single person, every single resident, every citizen in this country enjoys a living standard that is second to none. There will be no second-class citizen, no second-class residents under our leadership. We will make sure that we uplift all the people because we are an egalitarian institution. And we will make sure that those of you who are suffering, those of you who have suffered the last 10 years, those of you who continue to suffer, that we have Operation Jumpstart to give you a fresh start. So when we say that we're going to write off your electricity bills, all your arrears up to December 31st, 2013, that is what we mean, and that is what we shall do. When we say that we'll wipe off your water bills, all your arrears up to December 31st, 2013, that is what we mean, and that is what we'll do. And you know, your telephone bills as well, we're going to wipe those off as well. All of your A-period telephone bills, we're going to wipe them off in their entirety and give you a fresh start. And we know some of you have been unable to pay the maternity fees at Mount St. John. We say that no youth in this country should be without a birth certificate. That is a wicked policy, and we shall discontinue that policy, and we shall wipe off all of those arrears so that your children could get their birth certificates. The Labour Party is a caring institution. We are here because of you. We are here because we care about you. We are here because many of us have lived in poverty, because we understand your hardships, and because we want to help you. We want to lift you out of poverty. We want you within the next decade to be part of the middle class of this country. We want you to be business owners. We want you to enjoy the things that we enjoy. So if we have a color television in our home, a flat screen television, we want you to enjoy that. If we have a motor vehicle, we want you to have a motor vehicle too. But those in the UPP, including Baldwin Spencer, they enjoy seeing you suffering. They want to have a country of haves and have-nots. We say no way. It's one nation, one people with a common destiny. And our policies will lift all the people. We will make sure that we close that gap between the haves and the have-nots by introducing all these programs, because we want to make sure that the resources of the state, that those resources are distributed equitably and certainly for the benefit of you, the masses. Tonight, I close by calling on all of you once again to continue to stand firm with this great institution. Those of you here in All Saints East and St. Luke and All Saints West, I ask for your kind support and your continued support to ensure that Colin Tintin James and Michael Browne are elected come June 12, 2014. And again, I ask the entire country to make sure that you support the respective Labour Party candidates in your respective constituencies. I thank you very much for your kind support and continue to stand firm with Labour. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.